Hello, I'm John Peake. Greetings to all the saints at the Community Church at Harrisonville, with grace and peace from God the Father and from our Lord Jesus Christ. I thought I'd greet you today as the Apostle Paul might have greeted us. You know, Paul wrote half the New Testament, and his words are still as relevant today, 2,000 years later, as they were when he wrote them. But I was wondering what Paul would have said if he had seen today's headlines. 6.6 people filed for unemployment yesterday. 250,000 cases of the virus are in the United States. There are 6,000 deaths. In Missouri, closer to home, there's 1,581 positive cases, with 14 dead. One was a woman who lived in Belton, just 15 miles away from us. Sure seems like a lot of bad news. I wonder what Paul would have said about that. I think perhaps he would have said the same thing that he said when he was imprisoned in Rome and in Jerusalem. Maybe the same thing he said when he received 39 lashes some 5 different times. You know, he was shipwrecked and adrift at sea for 24 hours. He was snake bit, and he was stoned almost to death. I wonder what he would say. I think he would say the same thing that he told the believers at Philippi. Be anxious for nothing. Our Lord is the only cure for anxiety. I was looking at Philippians 4, verses 4 through 7. Let's read those together. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. The Lord is at hand. Do not be anxious for anything. I repeat, do not be anxious for anything. But in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. Don't be anxious. Don't worry. Pray. Let your requests be known to God. Let Him know that you have worry. Let Him know that you have anxiety, whether it's about your health or about your family or about your well-being or your family's well-being. Paul tells us to pray and acknowledge that the supreme God of the universe is limitless and He can do anything. Because God is still on His throne, because He's still in control, and He's known about this virus for all of eternity. Paul says to pray with supplication. I think that means make your needs known to God. Are you anxious? Tell Him. Do you have needs? Tell Him. He tells us to pray with thanksgiving for all that God has done in our lives and all that God is going to do. Paul would tell us, don't worry about anything, but pray about everything. And then in these days of uncertainty, God will grant us peace. A peace that is unexplainable, a peace that can come from no other source. You know, Jesus spoke of peace some 23 times according to the commentaries. My peace I give you, my peace I leave you. And so peace is important to God. Peace is important to us. And so I think there's no better way to close this devotional than to quote Jesus Christ and say, peace be with you. God bless us all. Thank you.